Hey, so today I'm going to be talking about my personal experience with Curology, and I just wanted to give this little disclaimer at the beginning before I say anything that this was only my experience with Curology. I have heard of and seen countless success stories, so I don't want this video to come across as saying you shouldn't try out Curology or it's not going to work for anyone. It just didn't work for me personally, and I'm going to explained why that was. But when I was doing research on Curology, I saw basically only success stories. So I think since I didn't have a success story, it was a little bit important to put it out on the internet, because if you are looking into it, I don't want anyone to get false hope that it's going to work for everyone. It might work for majority of people, but with skincare, it's so difficult to have one product that's going to work for everyone. So yeah, no hate against Curology, just my experience. So I pulled up my Curology shipment history, and I'm also going to post the pictures that I sent to my provider. So when you first start Curology, you tell them you are concerned. They ask for a lot of helpful information to know what to prescribe for you. And you also send pictures so the person knows how bad your acne is or what type of acne it is. So I sent those pictures on July 31st, and I received my first shipment. This was just like the trial shipment of Curology on August 5th. So within the first few weeks, I really wasn't expecting to see any kind of progress, because it typically takes at least a month of continued use for products to really start working on your skin. And I've also heard that some people have gone through stages of purging, so I was fully aware that that might be something that would happen. So I didn't have like a full-on purge stage that I would say. For the first couple of weeks, it wasn't really doing anything to my skin, and then as I continued use of it, it seemed like I wasn't going through technically like a purge stage where my skin was clearing things out, but I was just getting a little bit more acne each day. And I say it wasn't purging because it continued past the point where your skin should be cleared out and shouldn't be purging anymore. I should backtrack. The reason why I decided to try out Curology is because with COVID, I was experiencing some maskne. I've always dealt with acne throughout my life. I'm on a prescription for it, which does help, but it doesn't clear up everything. And it also still depends on what I put on top of my skin. So since I was experiencing a little bit more maskne, I was thinking maybe I should get some products that are specifically designed for acne, so that way I'm not just taking a prescription, but I'm also putting good stuff on my skin to help aid and get rid of any last bits of acne. So that is why I initially started it. And when I sent in my pictures, the provider could see that it definitely wasn't severe acne. It was, for the most part, cleared up. It was just slight stuff that I wanted gone, but wasn't like major. So after my first trial month of Curology, I decided to continue with it, even though I wasn't seeing results yet. I thought my skin was just going through that purging stage. I decided maybe it's just something that I need to try out for a few months for it to work, and then it'll be like everyone else and it'll have clear skin and it'll be amazing. However, at the end of that first month, I did contact my provider, and I told her that I've been having an increase in clogged pores and flesh covered bumps on my skin, and she said not to worry, that at this early stage it's just your skin clearing everything out. She said she didn't think that changing the formulation was necessary at this point, just to continue with the current formula and just see how it works. And she also had me list out what products I was using on my skin so I could eliminate any that might be also causing problems or clogging pores. So I did take one or two things out of my routine and replace them with better products. And from then, my skin just continued to get worse. I started seeing more and more breakouts. It seemed like every single day I had at least one new breakout, and I had a lot more clogged pores than I had even when I thought I was dealing with maskne. So even though I was halfway through the month, I contacted the provider again and I said, hey, like, my skin's getting worse. This seems to be well past the purging stage. And I asked about getting a formula change. So she responded, asked me to send more pictures so she could see what I'm dealing with. And then she did end up adjusting the formula that I had and increased, I think it was the tretinoin. She doubled what was in it. And this is just like a side note, but this was something that I was just a little on. So, or when they change the formula, you have to purchase a new $40 bottle of the serum. I really did not want to spend another $40, so I contacted support and I said, hey, like, I asked about this formula change before this was even shipped to me, and they said to just keep waiting, and now it's a couple weeks later and they are changing it, but I don't think I should have to pay for it. It sounds kind of bad when I say it out loud, but like, Curology is not cheap, and I did ask for it before that shipment had been sent because I wanted to make sure. So the customer support said, okay, this one time we will waive the fee for you. Typically you do have to pay the extra $40 to get another shipment. I am so grateful that they did waive the price for me, because honestly I think I would have just quit Curology right there if I had to get another bottle shipped to me for $40. But typically you do have to pay. So if you are using Curology and you're thinking about asking for a formula change, do it before they ship your next product out so you don't have to get charged double and just have the product go to waste. Okay, where was I? Okay, so they sent out the new formula and I started using that immediately as I received it. I'm looking at the pictures that I sent on the day that the formula changed, and it is noticeably worse than what my skin looked like when I had checked in with my provider previously. So when I got the new formula. So I got the new formula around the end of September and I started using that daily. And I don't actually have the date of when I actually quit Curology, but I think it was about a month later. What I experienced was just, it wasn't enough for me to try to continue using Curology. Like, some people say you need to really use it for 6 months, but for me, 6 months is a long time to go with your skin getting worse and not seeing any results, and to not even know if it's working. I think I ended up stopping Curology about the end of October, because at that point my skin was just getting even worse. Like, I had seen an increase in acne and clogged pores and redness and dryness on my skin gradually from when I first started it. But when the formula got changed and it was upped in percentage, it started getting progressively worse, which is what really told me that this isn't working for me. This is what's causing my acne to get worse, because I can tie the breakouts specifically to what products I've been putting on my face. And that's another thing that I just touched on, is it will likely dry out your skin. I've heard that from a lot of different people. If it's working and getting rid of your acne, especially if you have oily skin, that wouldn't be a problem. And I think having dry skin but have your skin be clear is a fine balance. But for me, it was making my skin dry, giving me more breakouts, and also making my skin red and super, super sensitive. Like, I thought that I had another product in my routine, like my moisturizer, that was something I was allergic to or just causing a reaction, because whatever I would put on after the Curology, my skin would start burning. Even though the Curology was like completely absorbed into my skin, I don't know what was happening, but I almost threw out a couple of products because I thought they were the one causing the reaction on my skin, because my skin would just be red and irritated, and it was just a bad time for my skin. So, keep getting distracted and derailed. So I ended up quitting Curology and discontinued use almost immediately. And then I went back to just using my normal products: a cleanser, niacinamide, retinol, and a moisturizer and sunscreen. And very, very quickly, I stopped having the increased redness of my skin. My skin became a lot less sensitive. That's when I realized it wasn't my moisturizer, because when I would put it on, when I stopped using Curology, it felt fine. And I'm using that same moisturizer to this day, and I still don't have reactions. I wasn't sure if my skin would clear up once I stopped using Curology, but actually, like, pretty quickly once I stopped, each morning I wouldn't wake up with as much acne as I was waking up when I was using Curology. I probably should have said this earlier in the video, but I also want to note that my acne has never been severe. I'm very thankful for my skin and how mild my acne has been, but if there was a way I knew to reduce it, you know, like, I obviously wasn't happy that my skin was getting worse. So gradually my skin started getting better and better. Basically every single day I stopped getting as many breakouts each morning, and what I had was healing up quickly, or quicker I should say, and the longer I stayed off Curology, the more my skin cleared up. When it was happening, I didn't want to directly link it to Curology, because I thought, like, my skin goes through different stages. Like, maybe this is just like a clear stage and then the acne that I was dealing with before is going to come back. However, it is late November, so it's been about a month since I stopped using Curology, and my skin has been consistent. I'm not wearing any base makeup right now aside from concealer. I will zoom in to show you my skin. Okay, so this is what my skin looks like right now. So as you can see, I still have like some redness from scarring, but right now this is just clear. And I have one spot right there that I basically caused because I was picking at my skin. And I do have like a couple clogged pores that are a little bit raised right here, but most of these red marks are just scarring. So right now, like, I have mostly clear skin. I just have basically clogged pores. That's actually what this was, and then I was picking at it. But my forehead is clear. Around this area is clear. I was getting a lot more acne around this area than I typically get. Before I started Curology, I was getting it here because of the mask, but then I just started to see even more acne grow across my face. So since it's been a month being off Curology, I've been feeling really good about my skin. It's gotten so much clearer, a lot smoother, less red, less irritated. I'm gonna go back to sit down. And since my skin is doing just so much better over the past month, I know, or like I'm pretty dang sure it's directly related to the Curology, because as soon as I started it and as soon as I ended it, I saw a completely different reaction, a completely different reaction in my skin. I don't really know how to wrap up this video, but yeah, Curology did not work for me. I know it has worked for a lot of other people, so I think it's still worth a try if you've been looking into it, but just know that not everyone has a success story. Nothing is going to be 100% working for everyone. My experience was unfortunately not so great, so I just wanted to put that out on the internet. No hate towards Curology or anyone that has used it and was successful. Not all my videos are like this, so if you would like to subscribe to my channel and see more beauty lifestyle videos like this, they're usually a little bit more positive. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Also, I think this video is going up the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope that you're ready for the Christmas season.